alumni entrepreneurs from classroom to boardroom. So for our first episode, we have Vinit Jain. He is a computer science graduate from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, followed by MBA in marketing management from SPJIMR Mumbai. He is founder of Voila Digi, a music label which has curated 100 plus songs and videos and has a subscriber base of 2.3 million over YouTube. So he also ranked third position in Entrepreneur Awards, Student Entrepreneur Award among
Global Student Entrepreneur Awards.
Global Indian Entrepreneur Awards among 1,000 plus applicants. So thank you, Vinit, for your time, and it's a privilege to host you over EOD Talks.
Thank
So
you.
how do you feel to be on campus after so many years?
First of all, I will answer a question, but just before that, thank you for that introduction. It was really sweet, and thank you for having me here, Ashutosh. Now to answer your question, of course, it feels amazing to be on campus. For most of the people of SPJIMR, they spend 2 years of their life on campus. For me, because of my engineering and MBA being in the same campus, I've spent 6 years here, and that's like pretty major. That's almost 25% of my life. So, so yeah, it's always a pleasure coming back here, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Sure, thank you, Vinit. So I'll just let my viewers know how we move through this podcast. So there will be three segments. First, about yourself, we'll know personal stories from you and about your journey. Secondly, we'll try to get in exciting instances from your SPID and SPJIMR journey, which are unheard till now. And then we'll move into your business world, as business world is still considered to be a grey matter area for students in campus. So we'll try to dig deeper into that so that your insight would be helpful to few of our viewers who are pursuing MBA now.
Sure, that's perfect. Thank you.
So let's start with the first segment about yourself. So how were you as a student? The most obvious question one could ask.
So I would like to say that I was a very nice, obedient. Actually, I was okay, but I'll tell you, I was for a majority part of my life, I was always like a backbencher kind of a student. But it wasn't like I didn't study. I studied a lot. I studied hard. So my teachers, they were all fed up of me in a way because I was always the mischievous guy, that kind of a student. But they also knew that I studied, so they also liked me. So they were fed up of me, but they liked me, most of them, because I respected my teachers. But yeah, it wasn't like I was a very serious other kind of first bencher kind of guy. वो मैं कभी था ही नहीं, but मैं पढ़ाई कर लेता था.
Nice.
We can do Hindi and English both, right?
Go on.
So.
And so, what are the most adventurous thing you would have done till now? In campus, away from campus, anything?
Okay, so the most adventurous thing was probably just managing a company alongside MBA. I mean, because it is really difficult, and of course, unless you're like really passionate or I think your work can be done digitally and remotely, I don't think it's also possible. Like, I could do it because my work was digital and my company was already running before I entered MBA. Till engineering, it was fine. It wasn't that difficult. But doing it with MBA, it's more difficult and more adrenaline pumping than probably an adventure sport also.
That is your business journey, but apart from that, any adventurous journey apart from your business end?
Apart from my business end?
The fun part.
No. I've been a very nice person. I'm not in anything adventurous on camera. On camera.
Who are the friends who you remember the most? Like you had 1 year of online MBA and then 1 year of offline. So do you remember any such stories of your friendship or your groups you would have had?
So I've actually made a few very close friends in MBA. So right across from school, I've not been someone who's been in groups as friends. I have very close friends, but they're individual friends, all of them. And that's what actually also happened in MBA. I had Shubham, I had Sachida, Aishwarya, I had Karan. I had a lot of friends, and they were people who I actually genuinely vibed with. Like, even along with studies and along with, let's say, doing the acad group things, all of that. But, चलो भाई वो सब याद है, वो सब ठीक है करते रहते हैं. But the main चीजें याद है ना, I think it's probably the talks we had in Vrindavan, or the things we did outside college, or probably even in college, the things we did in the library. Those are the things that I genuinely remember, and it was with these people. So it was always a very nice time with these people.
So any unheard stories from your group, if you can give us a sneak peek?
So the unheard stories from my group.
You could name this, we'll tag it along.
Yeah, I told you, like Shubham, Sachit, Aishwarya, these people. So Unheard Stories was that Aishwarya, for example, she was the person who always took notes in class, always took notes, and her book used to circulate along the entire class, and I used to sit next to her. So there were a lot of people जो पहले खुद पढ़ते थे और बाद में मुझे पढ़ाते थे. तो वो चीज़ नहीं होती ना, तो पता नहीं कैसे होता. मतलब क्योंकि मैं पढ़ता था, like even I was there in class and all of that, but I needed to study with these people also after classes. तो ये एक स्टोरी है जो बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता, बट मुझे बहुत लोगों ने हेल्प की है, like along with, I'm really grateful because ये नहीं होती तो MBA बहुत अलग होता फिर मेरा. It was fun, but it was also like they helped me genuinely as friends. Like it was very selfless of them to help me as friends.
That's nice. You have a very good core friendship.
I think that's important because you take along in your life, of course, from an MBA, you take your memories, you take your education, you take all of these things. But along with that, I think what you generally take along are some people who you can stick by, who you know that will be there wherever you need them. So I think that's really important.
So are you in touch with them still?
Yes, of course. And a lot of them are getting married now.
Yeah, that's
and that's really weird, when you're 25 and I mean,
I could relate to that because my undergraduate friends are getting married now and I'm studying here day and
exactly.
night.
And so it's not like it's a lot of people also get married at 25, even younger than 25, that's okay. But when they're your classmates, that feels different. Like you don't know what you're doing with life, and some of them are getting married, soon they'll have kids. So it's different.
It seems that one of my closest friends had got married, so it seems that a part of you has gone. When someone has taken your friend away from you, just like oh. So yeah,
that's true.
So what are the things you are most passionate about?
So I have this priority list. Along with passion, it's also a priority that I've always followed. And number one, honestly, it's work. It's my work. I'm really passionate about my work, and I think I'm very fortunate that the thing I was always the most passionate about, I was able to convert it into my business. Because वो नहीं होता ना, तो एक business कुछ और चल रहा होता, and my heart would be somewhere else. So that's not really the case. So I think I'm the most passionate about my work. Second, I'm really passionate about fitness. So I love working out, and a lot of times because of work I cannot do it, but I really love doing it. So I'm passionate about a few things in life, but those things are really important to me. So my work, which includes music, like I love listening to music, even not for my business, but I have to listen to music for an hour or so every day. Otherwise, it doesn't keep me sane. So when I take a shower, when I'm brushing, when I'm driving, I am just listening to music. I need it. It's for my sanity. So my music, my work, and I'm really passionate about. I would probably even keep this at the top about the people I'm close to. I'm close to a few people, but the ones I'm close to, I'm really passionate about. So I'm there for them always. Like if they need me, so I'll be there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what's insightful. So how has been your relationship with the music? What genre of music do you like, and how did you develop the interest over the years?
So the interest was always there, honestly. Like how I started my company was, I was actually just listening to a random song on YouTube. Okay, it was by a YouTuber who was pretty famous, and I just noticed that the song is just available on YouTube. It's not available on audio platforms. Like I checked Savan back then, I checked Ghana.com, I checked Apple Music. It wasn't available, and that is when it struck that oh, these guys are really famous, but their music is only restricted to YouTube. It's not on the audio platforms. So nobody was actually working with that segment of artists, and they were really famous, and they were really good also. So that is how the idea struck. So the interest was always there with music. That I was listening to music, and that's how it struck. But over time, that was the point when I realized that I can make my interest my business. Okay, and the relationship has just developed ever since. And I've always felt music very deeply. Like you won't believe if I have to convey something, I actually find it easier to convey it through music than like if I have to tell something to somebody, I can just send a song and that'll be easier for me than saying it. I can also say it easily, that's not a problem, but I just find the right music for every situation. I don't know how. Not new music, but music from the past. So it's a very special relationship. As I told you, I have to listen to music an hour or so every day, at least. Otherwise, I feel weird. Like I start feeling a little off by the end of the day. And if I just listen to music, my job situation, I will feel better. That's why I listen. What kind of music do I listen to personally? So I listen to all kinds of music, almost not all, but a vast majority, just to stay updated with what's happening in the market, what's not happening in the market. But of course, you have your own personal preferences for music. So for my own music, I listen to melodies. I feel songs with good lyrics and good melodies. They're my go-to music. When I listen to music for myself and not for my work. So, yeah.
So, do you think, like your father, Mr. Vinit Jain, is also the founder of Venus Music? So, do you think that quality has transferred on to you?
Of course, no doubt. I mean, it's not that the quality has transferred. I'll tell you what happens. So because when you grow up in that setting, there's this atmosphere around the house, and the talks are always about that, like, ये गाना चल रहा है, वो गाना चल रहा है, ये गाना सुन, वो गाना सुन. So interest एक वहाँ से develop हो जाता है. That how did I get the kida of music?
Yeah, correct.
It was because of my dad, no doubt about it. And of course, when you have such a person I have no qualms in saying that my dad has been very supportive of my journey. जो गाना मैं सुनता हूँ, मैं पसंद करता हूँ, मैं पहले डैड को भी सुनाता हूँ. I take his opinion on it. How does he think the song is? Not only song, like everything I do, I run it through him. So if you have that kind of an experience in your house, it is not a bad thing to utilize it. No way. So it was instrumental in setting my mood for music. In जो music की जो भी knowledge है ना, वही से आई. So yeah, that way of course, 100%, no doubts about it.
That was great. So we'll move on to the next segment now. Your stories in SPJIMR. So, so first we'll start with the transition from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology to SPJIMR. So how did you view that transition? Means was it quite different or it was similar as it is operating in a similar campus?
The transition was very different. Honestly, it's the same campus, but it's a completely different institution. Like engineering and MBA, it's a very different thing. Like engineering is still somewhere, you're pretty young. You start at the age of 18, you get done by 22. MBA, you start at an age where you're a little more mature in life. It's a little more serious also. Like, because it's your last, for most people, unless you're doing a PhD and stuff, it's your last education. And your last education decides a lot of things for you. The main job you'll get after your education, what you'll do for at least a couple of years after your education. So it's more intense. And again, it's a different field. This was computers, IT. This is more related to management, marketing. So it is very different. The kind of people you meet are very different. They're in different stages of life. Engineering, everybody you meet is at the same age. MBA, you meet people who work for 2 years, 3 years. I was a fresher. You meet some freshers who come from the commerce field, who are younger. You meet older people. So it's a different vibe completely. But at the same time, both of them have their own charm. And for public knowledge, I would like to clear this out. I've been trying to do this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There is no quota from SPID to SPJIMR. They're the same campus, but there is no quota. Also, SPJIN has no Gen quota. I would like to clear that. I'm Vinit Jain, but I'm not coming through SPJIMR through any quota. Not an in-house quota from SPID. Not a Gen quota. I would like to clear this out because I've been asked this so many times. Like anybody calls me, like, oh, did you get an SPJIMR through a quota? Any of these? Like, no. There's no quota, it's merit. And it is so annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, it is how it is. You cannot deal with it. People ask you if to answer it.
Probably it's one of the college where there's no quota at all.
Exactly, absolutely. There's no quota. Exactly. Yeah.
So viewers, that would be helpful for you. And from next time, Vinit Jain has no quota at all.
Yeah, please do not ask me that. Like, ask me anything else. Don't ask me how I got into SPJIMR through a quota.
Yeah.
I did.
So, which is your favorite spot on campus? Like, there's an adventure park, there's a lakeside, there's a temple by
the lakeside. No doubts about it. Especially in the nights, and if there's a fest or something going on, it's all well lit up.
Yeah.
It's very peaceful. So, plugging in your AirPods and listening to music, just sitting by the lake with those lights, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful place for most of us.
Yeah.
Means after a hectic day, we used to go there, just chill around.
You'll see a lot of couples there also.
Yeah, so we don't go to that spot.
Yeah, exactly. I never went to that spot.
Giving them that privacy.
Yeah.
So, which lectures did you sleep the most?
Can I say this on camera?
Yeah.
What if the professors are watching it?
No, professor might have changed from your year to us.
Might, right?
Yes.
It's
No,
not.
even that they won't take you in the wrong sense. Right?
Yeah, because we have done with earlier alumni, so they're chill about it.
Chill about it, pakka.
Yeah.
Pakka, pakka.
And even professors know that we sleep on.
Dude, I sleep in the front desk, dude.
Okay. So I'm gonna say it. But if anything happens to me, it's your responsibility.
Yeah. It's my sole responsibility. You put that on.
You do first.
Professors, please catch me for this.
I'm still confused if I should say this. Okay, I'm saying it.
You can name multiple subjects.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Not because of the professor, I'm clearing it out. Not because of anything else. But PNP2, we had this subject. It was always in the afternoon. Okay, it was at the 2:30 lecture, and that time was very stressful. So I used to sleep for like a couple of hours, 3 hours in the nights, and it was immediately after lunch. So honestly, I'll tell you why it wasn't because of the professor. Because the lecture started at 2:30, but I went in at 2:15 and I dozed off. And honestly, a lot of times I woke up after the lecture, so I have no idea what happened. And there might be a couple of lectures, not PNP2 maybe, where I don't even know, I don't remember the lecture, I don't remember the professor. Because I just slept before they entered the lecture. So that's happened. The PNP2, I'll tell you because it was always the afternoon 2:30 lecture. And it wasn't the professor, it was not that it happened in all lectures, but it might have happened a couple of times maybe.
So we'll move on to the next segment, and as you know, MBA without any business talk is incomplete. So we'll now move into the business part of that. So, what motivated you to get into the world of entrepreneurship? Like, you know, if you get into an MBA, you will get through a high-paying job, or you will be settled somewhere down the line, 5 years down the line. So, what motivated you to opt for the field of entrepreneurship?
So honestly, I started my entrepreneurship journey before my MBA. I started it in the third year of engineering when I was in SPID. What motivated me was honestly I just saw a market gap and I was like, let's try, why not? And in engineering, you can still manage some time, And I was like, anyway, what I do is I just get done with my college. I go home, I go to the gym, and that's it, right? Well, let's try. So I tried it, and you know what my goal was? Honestly, my first goal was that I just want to make as much money as I would make from the job I would get in engineering, which was back then like the good companies would pay you around 6 to 8 lakhs a year. So my first goal was that I want to make that much money, and if I make that much money, then I will think about it seriously. So I started, and honestly, the best thing about starting early for me was that I had nothing to lose. Even if I didn't manage to build a company, if I didn't manage to accelerate the growth, I could just take a job because I had 1 year. So I could still sit for my engineering placements, I could still sit for my MBA and MBA interviews. So I was good. I was safe and secure in that sense, which was a good thing about starting early. Not that I say everybody should do it. Everybody has their own journey, everybody has the right time. But for me, that was the reason. So I started and I noticed a market gap that, as I told you previously in the interview, and I capitalized on it. And then I realized that it was working. People were accepting what we were doing. The growth was happening, and I met my first target before my placements. So then I was like, यार अब job तो नहीं करना engineering से. So then my goal was that so I had the option of doing both together, but I realized that would be unfair to the company I was working with. And if I'm managing my own company and at the same time, and I probably couldn't do both probably. So then my next target was either I'll do MBA or I'll do a job or I'll do my business or I'll do both together. So I decided to do the daredevil thing. I was like, I'll do both together. So because honestly, I didn't know it would be this stressful. MBA, like when I started, I was like, हाँ कितना ही हो जाएगा engineering के साथ भी तो कर लिया. And then I realized कि engineering कुछ नहीं था. Like this was nothing engineering. तो ऐसे चालू हो गया, बट फिर एक बार MBA चालू कर दिया तो फिर कर दिया, और कंपनी भी चल रही थी और वो स्टेज पे थी कि मैं उस टाइम पे से बंद नहीं कर सकता था, वरना काम बंद भी हो जाता था. तो फिर दोनों साथ में करता रहा और फिर हो गई चीज इवेंचुअली. लाइक अब 2 साल से निकल लिया, अब लगता है कि यार कैसे कर लिया, बट अब हो गया तो हो गया, वो फ्लो में उस टाइम पे हो जाता है.
So yeah, I was about to ask that, like, during MBA there are sacrosanct deadlines, there are assignment quizzes, interns and other activities. So how did you cope up with those while managing an entire company?
By absolutely killing my social life, by reducing my sleep, and by every other, like, these things are honestly not very healthy. Like, killing your social life, not sleeping enough. But honestly, I was in a place where I didn't have a choice. And like, I had absolutely zero work life balance. Even now, I don't really have a good work life balance. But I enjoy it because, as I told you, that's my passion. That's what I like doing. So I'm fine with it. I don't recommend it. So I think everybody has their own priorities in life. You should do what works with your priority.
So for the last segment, we have come beside Lake to carry our rapid fire. Rapid fire, we hope it will be candid and uncanny, as well as funny.
It
So,
will. I'm sure.
so let's start with rapid fire.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of business advice you have ever received?
Not only for my business, I received it in a generic sense, but I applied it to my business. Uh, Whatever you do it with a clear intent and a good intent. And if you do that, then things will fall in place. And I really believe in that.
If you could go back in time, what one thing you would like to change?
About my journey,
Yeah.
nothing, absolutely nothing. Even the things that did not work for me, I would not like to change them because they shaped me the way I am. So absolutely nothing.
So, what's your favorite productivity hack?
My favorite productivity hack. So when I'm not feeling too good about myself, I just go to the gym. I have a quick workout with my kind of music, and then I'm back to basic. I'm back to the game.
So, what's the most interesting book you have read recently?
I haven't read recently. I used to read a lot till I was in the 9th grade. I know people won't believe me, but उसके बाद फिर time मिलना बंद हो गया, तो मेरी reading की habit छूट गई. So the last book I read would probably be a textbook. वो भी मैंने नहीं पढ़ी actually. What can I say?
So, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long, hectic day?
Gym plus music. And in the nights, I usually go for drives with good music and hot chocolate from Starbucks. It's the standard. So I don't party a lot. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nothing of that. But yeah, I do a few things. These are my things that I do.
If you could have a dinner with any entrepreneur, living or dead, whom would it be?
I would love to have a dinner with Shah Rukh Khan, though a lot of people would consider him only an actor. But if you look at it, he's a brilliant business guy. He started his company Red Chillies at a time when it wasn't, like most people were not doing it. He started a VFX and all, a production house kind of a thing. Back in time, he bought a sports company which took off very well. So along with just being an actor, I think he's one of the smartest guys in the industry about business also. And of course, I also love him as an actor, so it'll be a two-pronged thing.
So, what is the most exciting project you are currently working on?
I cannot choose one project because I'll tell you why. All projects that I curate are like my babies. Starting से उस पे इतनी मेहनत करते हैं. तो ऐसा एक one particular project नहीं है. But all of our projects, they're like really exciting and I'm sure people will love them. So honestly, I cannot choose one project. Even if you ask me to choose one project from the songs I've done, I cannot.
Yeah, fair enough. These are all
exactly, like they're like my babies, so I cannot really choose one out of them.
So, what's the craziest idea you have ever had? And did you implement that?
The craziest idea, I don't know, man. I think it was probably starting my company and it did implement it. Yeah. It seemed pretty crazy back then. Like when I told people were like, "What are you doing?" It's stupid.
So, if you could have any celebrity endorse your business, who would that be?
Shah Rukh Khan.
So, how many cups of coffee per day did you take to make it through the lectures?
I am not a very big coffee person. Honestly, I like coffee, but it's a little more harmful to your health than tea. So I'm more of a tea person. I have 2 cups of tea a day.
So, but during the lectures, to navigate through your lectures, how many cups of tea / coffee you require?
Depends on how many hours I slept the previous night.
Okay. So, what's the
The
worst?
upper limit would probably be around 5 to 6.
So, we thought of you will use guesstimate to find out
Oh
the
God.
number.
Oh God, don't get me back to consulting.
That's the most.
I'm fine in the music business.
That's the most common buzzword here. Guesstimate. Here.
I know. अब वो सब हो गया अब नहीं.
What's the worst interview question you have ever been asked?
That's also literally my most embarrassing story. I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna be roasted after this. Should I say it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that one. I'm gonna say another one. So the worst interview question. So when I was in one of the most prestigious B schools in India, I was in the final round of the interview. I told you off camera which one was it, but I don't want to say it. It was my dream college.
Yeah.
But they asked me this question that, oh, you're from the music business. And they mentioned some rag. And they're like, oh, sing this part of the rag for us. I was like, I'm not a singer. I am in the music business. I don't know those things. So yeah, that was probably the worst interview question I've been asked.
So this one is fun. If you are made the dean of SPJIMR for a day, what would you do?
Remove attendance, remove exams. Yeah, I think remove attendance and remove exams. I think that should be good. फिर बाकी तो सब बाकी तो बच्चे कर लेंगे फिर मुझे क्या करना है उसके ऊपर.
Then you would be the most loved in, I would surely say, from our batch.
From the students, yes, not from the management. That is why they would only make me the dean for a day.
Then, what's the most embarrassing thing you have ever done at work?
At work. Not that rapid, huh? Honestly, I can't recollect anything that's embarrassing.
Either you would have bumped into anything else or any embarrassing situation at work.
नहीं अगर मैंने किया भी होगा तो मुझे पता है.
वही बता दिए.
नहीं but actually कुछ नहीं आ रहा दिमाग में. Like I don't remember something embarrassing. Probably I tried singing sometime and that was embarrassing.
But you should have been good at that.
No, I'm not. Maybe that.
So, if you have the option to go back and do something differently, what would that be apart from business?
See, honestly, I think right from my childhood, I've done everything I wanted to do. So, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. But if you ask me something I want to do now, I really want to play sports again. I've always been a sports person. I've played lawn tennis, I've played cricket, I've played handball, tug of war, everything. But अब ना life में time नहीं मिल रहा उसके लिए. That is something I want to do. I want to get back to sports. I want to play with my friends, all of that. Hopefully sometime soon I will just get around a group of people and I play with them.
So, do you believe in the idea that working hard in the initial years and then retiring early in the 40s?
No, I don't. For me, I believe in the idea, for myself, only for myself, not for other people in general, that for me it was important to work harder in the initial years of my company. I won't be retiring early because that's honestly like what I love doing. So I don't see myself retiring early. But yeah, I did work harder in the initial part of my company, and somebody should do that only if they feel that is something they want in their life and it gives them happiness. So if that is okay, then why not?
So, thank you, Vinit. That was moderately rapid, but it was fun though. So thank you for taking out time. I know you must have an hectic schedule, and to make yourself available, we are extremely thankful for you. And I believe that the budding, aspiring entrepreneurs in our batch would be inspired from your journey and would seek out to you in case of any help or any queries. And I think this episode will develop the seed of entrepreneurship in their mind. So really thank you for taking out time, and good luck for your journey ahead and for your exciting projects.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I loved being here. And if there's anybody in the batch, in fact anybody from SPJIMR who ever wants to reach out to me for anything, please do that. Do it via LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever. It would always be a pleasure. And I had an amazing time. It's a great thing that you guys are doing. And everybody, whoever was watching this, please subscribe to the channel. And we'll probably do something like this cool again sometime in the future.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.